Wang Mei is a 32-year-old woman living in Shanghai, China. She works in a tall office building. But even with her job, life is difficult. Wang Mei is an only child. This means she has a big family responsibility. She must financially support her 2 parents and 4 grandparents. Her husband lost his job 6 months ago, so she is the only one earning money for her whole family. Every weekend she travels to nursing homes and hospitals. She manages medicines and doctor visits for her 6 elderly relatives. The cost for their care takes more than half of her monthly salary. Wang Mei's personal story shows a very real problem in China. China has the world's 2nd largest economy. It wants to become the most powerful country on earth. But it is in a big race against time. The country's population is getting smaller and older very quickly. China needs to become rich and strong before this population problem becomes too big to handle. President Xi Jinping has a vision for China to be a great nation again. But the main question is, can China become a strong world power in money and technology while its people get fewer and older quickly? The numbers clearly show this challenge. In 2022, China's population decreased for the first time in 60 years. In 2024, only 9.5 million babies were born. However, 10.9 million people died. This means the country's population is already getting smaller. The number of new babies is very low, among the lowest in the world. China faces a huge demographic challenge. This situation could change its future path completely. This book will explore if China can overcome its aging and shrinking population to achieve its goals. 2. The big numbers. Many years ago, in 1980, China started a special rule. Each family could only have 1 child. This was called the one-child policy. The government made this rule because China's population was growing too fast. It had more than doubled from 540 million in 1949 to over 970 million by 1980. The policy used many ways to make sure people followed it, like financial rewards or sometimes even more serious methods. It worked very well, stopping about 400 million births. But this policy had a big long-term cost. Over time, fewer and fewer babies were born. The average number of children a woman had fell from 2.81 in 1979 to just 1.01 today. This is one of the lowest rates in the world. The government later changed the rule, allowing 2 children in 2016 and then 3 children in 2021. However, these changes did not make more babies. The number of new births kept falling. In 2022, China's population went down for the first time in 60 years. In 2024, about 9.5 million babies were born, but 10.9 million people died. This means the population is getting smaller very quickly. To understand this, we can look at some key ideas. One is the dependency ratio. This number shows how many old people and children depend on working-age people.
This ratio is getting much higher in China. For example, the number of old people depending on workers has doubled. By the middle of this century, for every 2 working people, there will be 1 old person who needs support. This is a big burden. Another important number is the median age. This is the middle age of everyone in China. In 1985, the median age was about 32 years. By 2022, it was almost 40 years. Experts think it will be over 50 years by 2050. This shows how fast China is becoming an old country. Also, the number of people old enough to work has been falling since 2012. It went down by over 10 million people in 2023 alone. This rapid change is called premature aging because China is getting old very fast, even before it becomes a very rich country. Other countries like France or the United States took much longer to age this much. China did it in just 22 years. Looking to the future, the numbers are even more striking. Some experts believe China's population could fall to about 786 million by 2100, losing more than half its current size. Other studies suggest it could be even lower, maybe 320 million. This big drop in population will change China in many ways. 3. The money problems. China faces major money problems because its population is quickly changing. The government's pension system for old people is a big worry. Experts say the main fund for city workers might run out by 2035. This is a serious crisis. Today, about 8 workers support each retired person. But by 2050, this will drop to just 2 workers per retiree. In the next 10 years, around 300 million Chinese people will retire. Fewer young people are starting work, severely straining the pension system. By 2023, nearly 1/3 of China's provinces had pension deficits. Rural areas struggle more, with many elderly farmers having no formal pensions and working into their 70s. The government is slowly raising the retirement age. Men's will go from 60 to 63, and women's from 50 or 55 to 55 or 58 by 2040. These small changes, however, may not be enough. Millions of old people might lack support, potentially causing social unrest. Another challenge is the middle-income trap. China is a middle-income country with an average income of about $12,700 per person in 2024. Countries typically have 25 to 30 years to become high income. China has been at this level for about 25 years, leaving a small window to become rich before its aging population makes it too hard. Escaping this trap needs young, educated workers for new, high-tech industries. But China's workforce is aging, with fewer young people. Economic growth is slowing down. After fast growth, it was 5.2% in 2024 and is expected to slow further. This, along with high debt and housing issues, could trap China as a middle-income country. The job market is also changing. For decades, China had many cheap young workers, making it the world's factory. This advantage is ending. The working age population has shrunk since 2012. In 2024, 10.75 million fewer people were working. This shortage means wages are rising fast, by 7% annually since 2015. Higher costs lead some international companies to move factories out of China. The average age of Chinese workers is increasing, with many migrant workers now over 43. Older workers might be less able to adapt to new technologies. While some young people struggle to find jobs, the overall workforce shrinks. To fill this gap, China is buying many robots, about 280,000 each year. Finally, the housing market faces a big crisis due to fewer people needing homes. Property development has been a huge part of China's economy, but with a shrinking population, fewer young people buy houses, and older people may sell. Experts predict demand for new homes will fall by 75% by 2030 from its peak. House prices in major cities have fallen for over 2 years. This drop means less new building. Local governments, who earned much from selling land, are losing income. When house values fall, people feel less wealthy and spend less, hurting the economy. These housing changes are driven by the permanent shift to a smaller, older population. This means the property market may not recover soon, adding to China's overall money problems. 4. A hard life for people. Life in China is becoming very hard for many people because of changes in the population. One big problem is called the 4-to-1 situation. This means one child has to take care of 2 parents and 4 grandparents. Because of the one-child policy in the past, millions of young adults are now the only ones in their family to support 6 older relatives. This puts a lot of pressure on young people. They often use a big part of their money, sometimes more than half of what they earn, to pay for their family's needs. This includes food, doctors, and housing for the elderly. Many young people feel stressed and worried. They are called the sandwich generation because they are in the middle, caring for both their old parents and their own children if they have any. It is often very hard for women who might have to choose between their job and taking care of their family. If an only child dies, there is no one left to help their old parents. This leaves many very old people with no family support at all. China also faces a big problem with caring for its large number of elderly people. Today, almost 300 million people are 60 years old or older. By 2035, this number will be over 400 million. The country does not have enough places for old people to live, or enough trained people to help them every day. There are fewer than 8 million beds in special homes for the elderly. In villages, the situation is even worse. Many old people live alone, and it is hard for them to see a doctor. Sadly, many old people in the countryside feel very lonely and without hope. Because of all this pressure, many young people in China are choosing a different path. This is called lying flat. It means they decide to live a simple life and not chase traditional success. They do not want to work too hard, buy a house, get married, or have children.
This is a quiet way of saying no to the huge demands of modern Chinese society. Young people see how difficult life is. They face high unemployment and very expensive homes. They also know the big responsibility of caring for old parents. So many are deciding not to marry. The number of marriages has dropped a lot. Young women, especially, often feel they must choose between a job and a family, and they do not want to do both. They ask why they should have children when supporting their parents is already so hard. The government has tried to make people have more children. They offer money or help with childcare. But these efforts have not worked well. Many young people do not like these policies and feel the government is telling them how to live. This choice to lie flat means fewer babies are being born, which makes China's population problem even bigger. It shows how much strain the society is under. 5. The government's plan. The government in China faced a big problem. Fewer babies were being born, so it changed its old rules. First, families were allowed to have 2 children. This was in 2016. Later, in 2021, the government allowed 3 children per family. This was a big change from the past one-child rule. The government hoped these new rules would lead to many more babies. However, this plan did not work well. Even with the new rules, people chose to have fewer children. Births continued to go down. The government tried to help families with money. They offered up to $500 each year for families with many children. They also gave longer time off from work for new parents and cheaper childcare. But these efforts did not stop the fall in birth rates. Many people felt that life in cities was too expensive. They also had many old family members to care for. Young people often felt too much pressure to marry and have children. These reasons made it hard for them to want more children. Because having more babies was not working, the government started a new big plan. This plan uses robots and new technology to solve the problem of missing workers. China wants machines to do the work that people used to do. The country now installs nearly 280 industrial robots every year. This is more than half of all new robots installed in the world. For every 10,000 employees, China now has 470 robots. This number is higher than in countries like Germany or Japan. This big robotics push helps factories keep making goods even with fewer human workers. This means China can continue to be a big manufacturing country. The government's vision extends beyond just factories. Officials talk about creating a robot society. In this future, robots might help care for old people, work in education, or serve customers. They would take the place of people who are not there due to the shrinking population. Some experts believe that having fewer but better educated people might actually be good for the country. This idea is about quality over quantity.
It means that if people are very skilled and use a lot of technology, the country can still become rich and strong. China is investing a lot in education and new technology. Its younger generation is much better educated than older generations. If China can make its workforce very productive with technology, it could maintain good economic growth. Some economists think China could grow its economy by 3 to 4% each year, even with fewer people. This big gamble on machines and smart people is how the government plans to keep China moving forward. 6. China and the world. China's changing population deeply affects its place in the world. Comparing China to other countries shows its unique situation. India, for example, now has more people than China, and its population is much younger. India's median age is only 28 years, while China's is 40. This gives India many young workers for its economy for years to come. China, however, has fewer young people and more elderly citizens. This difference helps India's economy grow larger than China's in the future. Other nations like Nigeria and Indonesia also have young, growing populations, giving them future economic strength. Unlike Japan or South Korea, which became rich before aging, China risks growing old while still a middle-income country. The United States also holds important advantages. Its median age, 38.5 years, is younger than China's. Crucially, the U.S. benefits from immigration, which brings in new people and keeps its population dynamic. Its birth rate is also higher than China's very low rate. Experts predict China's population could shrink by more than half by 2100. In contrast, the U.S. population is expected to grow. This suggests the U.S. may better maintain its economic power compared to China. China's military strength is also under pressure. The People's Liberation Army faces challenges finding enough young soldiers. As the number of young men decreases and more young people choose other careers, military recruitment becomes harder. Modern armies need highly skilled individuals for advanced technology. China must compete fiercely for these talented young people. Military leaders recognize these issues and may need to shift towards more technology-driven forces, relying less on large numbers of soldiers. These factors raise a critical question. Will China's global influence and power peak soon, then begin to decline? Some experts believe China might grow old before it gets truly rich. If economic growth slows significantly due to fewer workers and more elderly, China might lack the resources to remain a strong global leader. This could lead to hard choices. China might feel a need to achieve its goals, like those concerning Taiwan, sooner. Or it might adopt a more cautious approach, prioritizing domestic stability. The future of China's population will significantly shape global politics and economics for decades. Two possible roads. China now stands at a turning point, facing two very different possible futures. One road is good, leading to a strong and modern country. The other road is bad, bringing big challenges and slow growth. On the good road, China becomes a very advanced and rich country. Even with fewer people, it can use new technology like robots and smart machines to do much of the work. Countries like South Korea, Japan, and Singapore show this is possible. They stayed strong and rich even with older populations by using new ideas and making workers more productive. China is also training more highly educated people, especially in science and technology. If new technology helps workers do much more, China's economy can keep growing strong, making life better for everyone. But there is also a difficult road. If China's population problem is too big, the economy might stop growing well. This could happen if there are too many old people to care for and not enough young workers. The money system for old people could run out. Many families might struggle to care for their elders without enough support. This could lead to bigger social problems across the country, making life hard for many people and slowing down China's climb to be a rich nation. Which road China takes depends on two big things. First, can China use technology to make its economy grow very fast, much faster than any country has done before?
This means getting machines and smart systems to do the work of many people. Second, can the government keep people calm and united during these huge changes? It is a very difficult challenge. The way China handles its aging population and new technology will decide its future and show the world which road it chose. 8. An unknown future. China faces a very big challenge. Its population is getting older and smaller, which could stop it from becoming a rich and powerful nation. To solve this, China has an ambitious plan. It wants to use a lot of new technology, like robots and smart machines. These machines will do the work, trying to make up for fewer people. This is China's main strategy to deal with its changing demographics. This journey for China is still a mystery. No one knows if this plan will truly work. Will China become a very advanced and wealthy country, even with fewer people? This is the good road. Or will the population problems be too big, making its economy slow down and causing other difficulties? This is the bad road. The final outcome is not yet clear. The way China handles this big problem will affect everyone on Earth. It will change the world's economy, how countries get along with each other, and which nations are strong. China is in a race against time. The final result of this race will shape the future of the whole world for many years. What do you believe China's future will look like, and why?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.